Transmitting to you from Old Heart Radio.
Okay, so technically it's recording.
Alright.
Yes. I have my coffee as normal, like per Old Heart Radio fucking,
What's my
podcasting.
name? Do I have a name? Can I be Old Heart also?
You can be Old Heart. I took it because I just didn't want it to die.
No. Continue the legacy.
Welcome to Local Yokelz. Alright, dear assholes. Hot dogs, really, I shouldn't start a podcast calling our listeners assholes.
What's up, butt nuggets?
Butt nuggets, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Either way,
What's up, chode whistlers?
just to get it out of the way, we have that Local Yokelz podcast right here, fresh for you. You hear that other voice, because not I can't throw my voice, not yet.
There's two of us in here.
There's two of us.
Two. Not one, but two.
I'm obviously here, but who do we have here?
We've got Mr. Jeremy J. Slingshot, a.k.a. Toll Taker, a.k.a. King Kong, a.k.a. all the other shit, Stealth Malice, a.k.a. Jeremiah Steele.
You can, part-time.
Part-time.
Yeah, I feel that. AKAs are always...
They're worth it. They're worth having. I think the longer you can completely just absorb someone's necessary time just from saying 5 minutes of random AKAs, I feel like it's time well spent.
I mean, Wu-Tang did it.
I know, yeah. You're taking away from their life, which in the end makes your life more fulfilled. I think is the theology behind the thought process. It's been a while.
I've never disagreed with the length. It's like having titles. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like I'm not a duke.
I'm no fucking dude.
But I've got plenty of AKAs, dog.
There's nobody that's gonna knight me anytime soon.
I'll knight you. Start our own country, bro.
We could. There's like a pointy, sharp object right here.
Hey,
I think that's the rule of knighting. I haven't figured it out for sure.
I mean,
but I think it has to be. You have to have some sort of like sharp object.
Right, and there's kneeling involved.
Yeah, because the threat of being able to be stabbed is like part of the thrill of being knighted. I think.
Isn't like royalty and religion kind of the same thing? It only works when people believe it.
Fair enough.
So fuck. Why can't we just get enough people believing that? Yeah, you're a knight.
I agree with you. We were just talking about it with fucking Joe.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Let's just start a cult. I mean, that's basically what we're talking about right now.
So welcome to our cult podcast.
Yeah. We're gonna knight each other and
underneath the Church of One. We'll just call it the Church of One.
Church of One.
Yep.
Yeah. I almost tried to start a cult centered around Sobe once. Like, that's no joke.
Is Sobe still around?
Sobe is.
Wow.
Not that I'm in no way endorsing Sobe. I don't give a shit.
Never enjoyed Sobe. It used to be a flex. It used to be a subtle flex when you would fucking roll into 8th grade and oh shit, he's got a Sobe.
Yeah, with that glass bottle.
Like, dude, yeah, his parents hooked him up. They went to the gas station this morning. He got up early.
Yeah, Sobe's were they were like classy.
Wearing all white and drinking a Sobe.
A green tea Sobe.
Yeah.
Because why not just have a green tea Sobe when you just make some fucking green tea?
Fucking A, bro. Sobe makes it better.
So
something about that salamander, bro.
Oh my god.
Oh, I wonder.
Yeah,
Sobe the salamander? Was that the name of the salamander?
I have no idea. Was
there
there a name of the salamander?
I mean, why have one if there's not a name?
Yeah, I've been talking about a lot of 90s stuff today.
It's a pretty fucking pointless mascot.
Earlier, I was talking about Pogs, man. Did you ever get into Pogs?
So, I had an older brother. My brother's 6 years older than me. I was born in 90, so he's like 84 or whatever the fuck. And so he was like tweens through the 90s, through the mid, like 95 and past that. And like I was just a child. So whenever I got Pogs, he would just take them.
Bastard.
Like I really wanted to play Pogs, but like I didn't know how, and he was like, I'm Pog King, and just come in with like 8 slammers and just fuck all my shit up.
That's my title, man.
Pog King.
I gave myself no joke.
P-A-W-G
I
King.
gave myself the title of Pog King of Olympia.
Is this your slammer?
No, that's just a timbre.
Oh.
My slammer's in the other room.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's a poison slammer with a black widow.
I know nothing of that.
These are some pogs.
These are just some pogs. These are some of the collection that I like to have. How did you obtain pogs? Where did they come from?
So, I mean, pogs are just frivolous bullshit, really. They're good, but
Do they come in cases? Like you just buy a case of pogs?
not nowadays. Nowadays, you go online, you have to buy them off of eBay.
Right. This one's sick.
You can have it. Everybody gets some sort of pog when they walk away from
All right,
it.
all right.
So that's
I mean,
what
I
tried to do
all of
that.
them.
I tried to do that. I successfully did it with one. Now this will be 2 episodes.
I like the Jesus one. The Jesus one's pretty good.
Yeah. There's this weird subsection of like Christian pogs.
You gotta speak to the youth, man.
Yeah.
That'd be so good if there were Christian Pokemon cards.
Oh my god.
Holy shit!
What
Just
would
like
they
members, it would be like Moses.
Yeah.
It'd be like Solomon.
The burning bush is an actual
The burning
Pokemon.
That's
not.
it's a spell you cast. It's like an AOE.
Oh Jesus.
It's just fucking, yeah, I want that shit. Hey,
Wow.
Bible people, if you're listening to this, start some Bible Pokemon cards, bro, or Bible trading cards. How about that? We'll go from there.
It's legitimately an untapped idea.
I feel
We'll see.
these Christian pogs are hilarious.
They are. They're breathtaking.
Yeah, there should be way more. Oh, there's a slammer.
Yeah.
A McDonald's slammer.
Oh, that's a
Power
Mighty
Ranger?
Morphin. Yeah,
Whoa,
this came
hang on to that.
in a Happy Meal.
Yeah.
All right.
You don't let no one take
You
that
hear
one?
this, listener?
Oh.
Maybe not.
I mean, no, they heard that.
They heard that.
I'm gonna take the Pisces.
You do it. It's yours.
All right.
Walking away with a little treasure.
To those of us who can't see, I just picked out a Pisces pog, twin fish, but it's also a yin yang theme, so it's pretty new age.
There's a lot of yin yang pogs. I
Yin
swear.
yang and Christianity.
Yeah. It was a weird mix.
Yeah. This one has
But
a.
Pogs is so fucking fun. Like I don't know why. I don't know. I think it's
I still
just
don't
because everything's
understand it.
digital, obviously. But Pogs is just such a fucking easy, fun game.
Is there a Pog video game?
No.
Oh,
definitely
guaranteed
not.
there's an app. I
All you gotta
fucking
do-
guarantee you at the Play Store or
No
on the
way.
fucking iOS store. I guarantee
That's
there's a
an-
Pog app.
If there's not, that's another fucking genius idea.
Yeah. Oh, I would spend hours on that. It's like somebody made that fucking stupid bubble popping app where it's
Oh
like you
my
have
God.
bubble wrap and you just press it and it pops.
Wow.
Why wouldn't somebody fucking make a pop? And what's different? So you choose your slammer and then like how
Yeah.
you just drag it up and slam it down.
Basically, I bet that's all the thing would be.
You can invent that app. We could invent that app. We're dummies.
Yeah. We
We just did.
Boom.
There you go.
Right.
Free money.
Wake
Someone
up,
out
internet. Take care of it.
there. Yeah. Wake up, sheeple.
Oh my god. I just almost. Oh, I got
It's
the
all right.
burpees. I got the burpees.
The burpees.
Yeah, the burpees. That's what like, too much LaCroix does to me.
It gives you burpees.
He gives me the burpees.
I would hate to go to the hospital. You have a horrible case of burpees,
No, sir.
and there is no cure.
Raging burpees.
Raging-
and
You have a raging case.
it'll come and go for
should-
the rest of your life.
You should contact everyone you've ever been around and shared a soda with. Anyone you've ever shared a beverage with, sir, has possibly been exposed to this.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, that's heavy.
Yeah, I
don't
gave
think
my dad burpees.
That brings me back to an idea I had a long time ago about doctors giving out like greeting cards, not greeting card, but like just like cards, like instead of
Hallmark
instead
cards?
of instead of them walking in and
for their
delivering
diagnosis?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you don't deliver the diagnosis, you give it
See
to
how
them in a
quick
card
I made
form.
that jump of logic because it makes so much sense.
Exactly.
No,
see?
100%. So like I'm in the hospital. I'm waiting for my dad to get out of surgery. Doctor comes up to me, hands me a card with my name on it. I'm fucking stoked. It's like my birthday. I open it up. It says our dearest sympathies.
Boom.
And then I pop the card open. Your father passed away.
Boom.
I feel okay. I didn't have somebody that I was afraid was going to shame me for having my father die. Which
do you think doctors are like
secretly shaming? Yes.
Oh my
this guy's
God.
got weak genes.
I want to hear that. I want to hear from a doctor about that shit.
The doctor's lounge, all of them just talking about how pussy their patients are.
They're just talking shit about their patient.
I only gave him half a dose of anesthesia. The fucker couldn't take it.
Listen, man, their family only had 2 kids. Who gives a fuck?
He was a cunt anyway.
Doctors, secretly assholes.
Well, I mean, that's
You heard it here first.
Yep.
In the midst of a pandemic. Here
Yep.
we go.
Doctors.
During the whole thing, we're calling it doctors assholes. It's
I mean,
okay.
I think they're secret assholes. What's that?
I mean, everybody's
word?
a secret asshole. Though.
I
Like
mean-
that, I mean, to some degree.
I don't know. I've met some pretty pure people that I would like to think are secret assholes, but
I would. Well, okay. I mean, I just don't think everybody's got like. nobody can be sweet all the fucking time.
Right, everybody has
what I
that
mean?
breaking point.
Yeah. Like everybody's got a butthole, but everybody's also an asshole.
That's the thing. So everybody has a butthole, and it's only a matter of time before it gets licked.
Well,
and then it's either a freak out rage or it's like, okay, you can do that again. Like there's definitive moments.
Fair enough. That makes you. That's kind of one of those definitive. That makes you a little bit more of an asshole if you rape.
If you rape?
If you rage against.
Oh, if you rage, of course, yeah, totally. Like,
is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get the. Okay,
if
so
you've never had your butthole licked, first of all,
you've never had your butthole licked.
You're doing your life wrong. You owe it to yourself to just like put it out there. You don't have to ask for it, but just like, clean it up, make it look nice, and maybe it'll be like enticing for someone.
Next time it's around somebody's face, they might just go for it.
Yeah. You don't want to like pressure somebody into it. I mean, but if you have an open communicative relationship, you should be able to be like, hey, I'll clean up if you wanted to do this for me.
Buttholes might not even be the weirdest thing to lick.
Honestly, there's weird. Dog buttholes are way weirder to lick.
Who licks a dog butthole?
I don't know.
That's a real conundrum.
I don't know. Maybe.
I want to know who's out there licking dog buttholes.
I guarantee you, there's an agia for that.
Well, we were just watching that. I'm blanking on the YouTube name. All gas, no brakes.
Yeah.
And there's that quote unquote shaman lady in one episode who was like basically she's just trying to make her dog orgasm. How do you feel about that? I get the.
I understand.
Everybody should enjoy.
Right. Okay. So I'm a dog parent, right? And I am a male and a female dog parent. I'm not a male female. I mean, I have a female and a male, or I've had female dogs.
Yeah.
And she was fixed at birth, and it kind of, this might sound a little weird, but it kind of broke my heart, thinking like, oh, she's probably never gonna have sex. Like, I would feel bad.
Dog?
I would not want to live my entire life and not have sex. I wouldn't want to wish that on another creature.
Well,
and we got a boy dog, and they totally had sex, and it was the scariest thing. It was terrifying. They got stuck together. They ended up ass to ass.
Oh God,
she was just trying to kill him.
Worst.
We had to go get ice from the freezer and put it on his junk. I'm not even lying. Yeah, and then we waited for it to shrink, and then that's totally, I don't know if you're familiar with the movie Out Cold, but that's exactly where that logic came from. Zach Galifianakis gets his wiener stuck in a hot tub, and
pre-hangover Zach Galifianakis.
Yes. Yeah. And then what's his dick from Anchorman, my favorite character from Anchorman, the sports guy, Champ.
Oh, Champ Khan.
Champ Khan comes out of nowhere to save Galifianakis and like just puts a bunch of ice on his balls, and then his dick just like retracts from the suction of this hot tub.
Oh God, I do fucking remember that shit.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, it's classic.
Yeah.
In terms of snowboarding movies, it's up there.
It's all right. I mean, what was that? Johnny Tsunami. That was a pretty good one.
Johnny Tsunami was. It still is a solid classic.
Oh yeah, go big or go home, man. Yeah. Like, are you kidding me?
Lessons learned in that movie back then still apply today.
Brink, another one. Like
I recently rewatched Brink because I thought it'd be a fun rewatch.
Was it?
I mean, it's pretty hot garbage.
Yeah. Team Pup and Sons.
I'm just gonna pull the rug out of that right now for people. Like the Disney Channel original movies are pretty trash, but
Xenon,
the nostalgia's there,
dude,
because they are exactly as you remember them.
But when you're a kid, everything's awesome. Yeah. And when you're an adult, nothing is awesome unless it's sucking your dick.
Yeah. Unless your dick's in its mouth.
I would use it as a very loose term. Vacuum cleaners.
Oh man, hot tubs.
You know. I mean, we're gonna be fucking robots.
I don't think I've ever tried to stick my dick in a hot tub yet.
I've never ever been in the position to do that.
You've never been around a hot tub yet?
I mean, yeah, but not with like an erect wiener.
You're out.
I don't pop boners in a hot tub. It's fucking hot. My balls are like, why are you in here?
Fucking in a hot tub's not great.
Like isn't there something about like water in a girl's vagina and you shouldn't?
Yeah,
because it's not good.
Yeah, definitely. There's like I can't speak to the science. I'm not a vagina scientist, but
I'm not a vaginist.
I'm an enthusiast, really. But
I'm pretty sure the proper term is vaginacologist.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That sounds professional. I don't know, man. What the fuck have you been in? It's been so far, like you came over.
Oh yeah, intros are over now. This is where the podcast starts. That was all bullshit banter.
Yeah, that's all bullshit banter. But I wanted to talk about like what the fuck you've been doing though. Like,
sure.
Like what you've produced a handful of music this last year.
Yeah, a little bit. So like,
I mean, not just this last year, but since like just this last you produced music since the last time we recorded the podcast.
Yeah.
Including the South Miller Street Toe Tappers.
So yeah, the South Miller Street Toe Tappers is really funny.
Which is like just brilliant. I gotta
Thanks. So we live on South Miller Street, and that's where the name came from.
Yes.
And we were trying to think of good names, and I was really for mayonnaise-based salad.
Oh, I like that one too.
I thought that would be really good. I was also for Apple Maggot. I also liked War Cunt. That was a good name, War Cunt, but we don't have any females in the band, so that was like appropriating or something. But if we were from Australia, it'd be like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, I think War Cunt's I just picture an elephant in armor just running at a wall that looks like a vagina.
Whoa.
Right? War Cunt.
The
just
imagery.
Immediate imagery. But South Mill Street Toe Tappers, just resonated with the group.
Like, what got y'all to fucking just record that? Like,
So
what came up? Like, where did the idea of that come?
Like it just started out as jamming. So we have a little studio jam space that's always set up with mics.
Nice.
And the computer's always down there. And all we really have to do is just hit spacebar, and then we can do what we need to do to either scratch track apart or just record the whole song all at once if we wanted to. And so we just started with I think the first song we wrote was Dun 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 Dun. And I think that's my only musical contribution to the entire album. I'm pretty sure. And everything else is just vocals, and me and Caleb split the vocal duties. I think I do it maybe 70% of the time, and he does the rest.
Where the fuck? I've been wondering that since I listened to it. Where the fuck did the lyrics come from? There's certain ideas behind some of them.
Yeah.
But I was just
Hobbitarian being specific.
Yeah, dude. That was. I mean, it's just so dramatic at times. It drives at times. The
whole album is Rex listens, and I don't know if a whole lot of people are familiar with this, but there's a band called The Residents, and The Residents are this crazy fucking band from, and I'm gonna get all this information wrong just so everybody knows, they're late 60s through the 70s, and they just did crazy fucking shit all the time. They make Frank Zappa look like Sesame Street. It's ridiculous. And they are our good pals, favorite band, and he just ingests nothing but that, and then random grindcore bands that I show him, because I listen to a lot of grindcore and black metal, and the grosser and nastier it is, he just loves it. So we went on I wish I could remember, Balfuck was a band that we were listening to for a while. I know there were worse ones, way worse ones. There's Bifurcated Anus.
Oh my god, dude.
There's just all these toilet shit poop bands that are so bad.
I mean, where the fuck is where's would you say grindcore is the most popular?
Right now,
in terms of the globe, I guess.
Czech Republic.
Yeah,
they have a
Europe,
dedicated
parts of Eastern Europe.
Yeah, they have dedicated yearly festivals to specific grindcore and DB, and everything from gore grind to thrash metal to just the most disgusting. There's we were talking about the other night, Gutalax.
Yeah.
That's their home turf, and their vocalist just snarls. He's that's it. I mean, he does a good job. I just made it sound like shit.
Wait. What was the band you showed me last night? Was that the band that you showed me last night?
Shirt?
With the dude with the shirt and the Michael
Thy
Jackson
Art is Murder.
Thy Art is Murder.
That song is called Slaves Beyond Death, and the video, if you want, I would type in Slaughter to Thy Art is Murder live at Bloodstock, and the first video that comes up should be Slaves Beyond Death. And if you want a good video, I highly recommend it. Very good live performance, very impressive.
Yeah.
If you know anything or care about death metal vocals at all, you will immediately recognize that the vocalist is more than a professional, and if not a leader in the ability to do what he does extremely well.
Fine. Nice. But that's the thing. So you said death metal. That's
that's deathcore. It wouldn't necessarily be grind. Their drummer is playing at grind speeds, which is where the core comes in.
Consider me the Steve Carell of metal music. Okay. If what?
Jack Black.
You're talking about all these different. Well, not Steve Carell, but I mean his character in The Office.
Yeah,
I meant to say.
Break it down.
Michael.
Yeah.
So. if there's like how many like what are the main branches of metal right now?
Well, it depends on what you like.
I mean, and do you think are things like grindcore?
Sorry, I didn't think that would be loud enough.
Studio toot.
Toot.
Are grindcore like parts of that metal?
Yeah.
tree?
So the place where grindcore and death metal overlap is thrash metal.
Okay.
And that's where you get bands like Sodom and Dissection and Vector and bands that are trying to embrace the technicality and brutality of death metal, but also with the speeds of grindcore. And back in the 80s, thrash metal was something else. A lot of people think that Metallica is thrash, and that's fine. That can be their shit. A lot of people think that Slayer is thrash. That's fine. I would consider both those bands crossover. They're more punk than they would be grind.
Fair enough. I've never like I don't fall into that camp of like Metallica wasn't hard when I like discovered them. To me, you know what I mean? And
well, we had already had Cannibal Corpse and
there's
all this
already
other
so
shit.
much other shit.
Yeah.
And so to me, they weren't. I understand, like maybe like they might be like formative for some people that we maybe like eventually listen to or something.
Generationally,
yeah. So that I mean, like okay, so you have things like thrash metal, death metal. What the fuck is the like? Can you give me a difference between death metal and metal?
Yeah. So like, metal would be like your average shit, like Gojira. Everything from Gojira to Disturbed. I mean, Disturbed gets categorized in the genre of metal.
Yeah.
Seven Dust, Limp Bizkit, like all Korn. I mean, you can call those guys new metal or whatever, but at this point, it's just fucking metal, bro. It's not new anymore. It's just metal. And,
was that really like what it was, like what the new part for that was just like literally representing like they were supposed to be like on the kind of like the cutting edge new wave of like what metal was becoming? Okay.
Yeah, which is and that's even evolved now to bands like 12 Foot Ninja and like Suicide Boys are on that tangent too.
I just wanted like all the listeners to know real quick that like I just like every third band you throw out there, it's like another one I haven't heard of. Like so to me, I'm just like no, you're great. This is all new to me.
I love music. That's literally the only thing I fucking like autistic out about. Everything else is normal and boring, and then I just like I need to listen to music.
Dude, music is.
Fucking awesome.
I've said it before, but like you have to have a soundtrack, right? Like you can't like life would be so fucking dull unless you could like inject that fucking
Fucking A. You have to have something to like. There are all kinds of emotions, and I feel like the more that music branches out into more experimental shit, the more that you're able to capture either more intimately feelings that people feel or the specific types of feelings that people feel at different times. But to get back to the original, the fucking difference between metal and death metal. Tangent. Death metal usually will never sing. Metal usually has like Dio or Black Sabbath or like this raging singer.
Is Meatloaf like a...
Meatloaf is definitely rock, like opera rock. Like Meatloaf, Queen, same thing. Not the same thing.
Try and clarify it.
Yeah, same genre. Definitely not the same thing. Let me clarify that shit.
Meatloaf, get the fuck out.
Meatloaf's still pretty good. I wish Freddie Mercury could have done musicals. Meatloaf has done so many fucking musicals.
Have you ever seen videos of Meatloaf singing the national anthem at rallies?
No.
It is so bad. He's like, I can't do it.
He's not that good. Yeah.
No, Meatloaf. I mean,
he's trying to be Lady Gaga or Christina Aguilera, and he just can't because he's a fat guy.
Can't reach that. Anyway,
death metal is usually brutal and more aggressive.
Okay.
Less poppy.
And usually there's no singing in death metal.
No, yeah, it's all
just like
gutturals.
Yeah.
Death metal usually does like burpee. They do gutturals less vocal fry, which is like the higher type of scream.
Yeah.
Gutturals usually like the lower. Blah, blah, blah. You get the burpee and the frog croaks and shit like that in death metal. And then.
Okay, so what's the difference between death metal and thrash metal?
Sure. So death metal doesn't necessarily have to be fast.
Oh yeah, and thrash is fast.
Thrash has to be fast.
Yeah.
Thrash has that punk like.
That's like the. Yeah.
That shit.
God,
death metal doesn't have to have
thrash metal. I think.
Death metal usually just has like mid-tempo grinding riffs that just like sometimes take forever to complete and can be winding and dizzying. But at the same time, it can also have riffs that are just repetitive and slamming.
Fair. As one that's played a litany of different types of metal, like what's your favorite to play?
Thrash. Hands down. Yeah. Death. I mean, if you want to get technical, like death thrash or black thrash. Okay. Black metal has.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing. I didn't really. Okay, so
mix that shit.
Talk about it.
Black metal is one of the best genres that's ever been invented. It's one of the best things, I think, that it captures in a lot of things, but at the same time, it's like, this is gonna sound so shit. But it's like,
Old Heart Radio.
Yeah. I don't want to say it's,
no.
How do I put it? It's not ancestral music, because that's stupid. But for somebody like me, it was the complete beginning of something that was brand new. There wasn't anything that sounded like black metal. There wasn't anything that sounded anywhere even near that vein when bands started making that shit back in the 80s, or I mean, you could do 70s with Venom and stuff like that. They were the first people that coined that term black metal, and I mean, even then that was thrash, and it just evolved into this black metal. And
so what's so definitive about black metal?
It is anti-religious in all of its themes, to the point where it openly speaks about nothing but, for the most part, it a lot of the early stuff is born in hate and born out of just violence and born out of having things taken from them. Like, a lot of these kids grew up in a landscape that was changing because of Christianity.
Yeah. So probably like almost like an angry revolt against that.
Correct. That their heritage was being taken away from them, is what they felt like.
Which is understandable. If all you know is being like erased from you.
Right. And I mean, it unfortunately bled into National Socialist black metal. Yeah, I hear that too. It unfortunately bled into like nationalists, like people who are racist and shit like that.
Yeah.
So it became like a largely white genre. And I feel like it's being taken back a lot. I wish I could remember their name. I just found this beautiful band from Australia. It's two people, and they are like, there's like queer black metal now. I'm trying to remember the band, and
which seems in itself kind of like a revolt of what black metal
was born from.
Which
is why black metal is like such a beautiful thing, is because it's consistently bastardizing what it was before in hopes of becoming better.
Interesting.
Like, and a lot of people don't like that. There's a lot of regressives in black metal that don't want it to change. And like, there was an album that came out 7-8 years ago now, called Sunbather by Death Heaven, and it's one of the definitive, in my mind, black metal albums of all time. It took the genre and flipped it, and instead of being depressing and full of anger, it's sorrowful but full of hope. And it's still brutal, it's still black metal, it's still the same speed, but it's just filled with all these gorgeous, pretty parts instead of things that are designed to like scare you.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I like that juxtaposition where you have a genre that usually has a very strict formula, and if you want to create in it, you stick to that formula, or else you're going to be labeled something else. And these guys fucked with that formula and still get called black metal, except by the community. In the community, they're called pussies.
Within the community.
Still love them. I was called a pussy all the way through high school, so I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I like pussy music.
I still think about it from time to time. I am rubber and you are glue.
That's right.
Just bounce that shit right off.
Yeah, you calling me a faggot's probably because you are one, and you're afraid of what's going on inside when you look at me because you're so attracted to me. I think that,
interesting. So, okay, but
black thrash is the best music to play.
That's what I was just going to ask.
It's
so,
super fast.
About that, but
super fast. Vocals are within the range that I can do, because I don't do a really good guttural, but I do an okay high vocal.
Yeah, you have your scream.
Thanks.
Is a fantastic scream.
I'm surprised I still
I've
have
never
it.
been able to do a high scream.
Can't believe I still have it after all these years.
I gotta be honest. When I first heard it, give me the track and the title, and the title of the track.
Leave Me.
Yes,
that
that's
one.
It. When I first heard "Leave Me," that I was just like, my God, he still has that fucking scream, man. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I worked to get that back. I had to sing for like 3 or 4 months before I was back into a place where I could do it.
Fair enough.
And even now, I've found myself, I have to warm up.
Yeah.
And like I do like 15 minutes to a half an hour of warming up before I get behind the mic now.
That makes sense.
Or else I sound like this.
People who think that like you can just like people just growl and scream forever from a natural place, like it is something that like you put your body through. through, and so you have to work and train it.
I even have to work
practice,
out.
You know,
like I had to start working out because my diaphragm wasn't strong enough like it used to be when I was younger and doing it all the time. I stayed taut, and now that I've relaxed for a few years, I had to get my diaphragm back into a comfortable place because that's where everything comes from. So if I get tired here, then like there goes my vocals. Even though my throat's good, my stomach's tired.
Fair.
So I had to work that shit out to get it back to being okay.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
Black Thrash. It's got the super fast tempos. It never slows down. It's got winding, fucking bone-crushing vocals, and you can headbang and fucking lose your shit to it.
Nice.
It's the best.
Fuck yeah.
Absolutely the best.
All right, if you're gonna craft your own, not that I'm endorsing MTV. MTV sucks these days. But if you had to craft your own headbangers ball, like pick like 6 fucking bands that you'd put on there out of shit you listen to now.
Right now.
That would deserve to be like blasted on a fucking page if people want to think they're hard. You know?
Slaughter to Prevail. They're a band
Prevail.
from Russia, and they just dropped a song called Demolisher. And the vocalist is named Alex Terrible, and he has.
I love that.
I know. He is a bear of a man. He's gigantic, and he's tatted from neck to toe, all the way. And he usually has his shirt off, and he's like a bodybuilder.
You'd have to. Like,
he's just this big fuck.
Shit.
But I'm pretty sure he has the lowest clear growl out of anyone ever. And he even like there's this part in this song Demolisher, like 3 minutes in, he fucking everything breaks down and it's all quiet and he comes in speaking Russian, but it's like sounds like Satan. I don't know how he does it. I think it's pitched down, but all the vocal experts are saying like it's not pitched down, it's not, he can just do that because he's got whatever. Archspire, Involuntary Doppelganger, that song that we just listened to recently.
Yeah.
That song was fire. Their vocalist is like a rapper. That's like a 3-6 Mafia rapper ass. He's just who's the fastest? Blackalicious? Who's like the fastest? Fucking Busta Rhymes. He's like Busta Rhymes, but he sounds like the asshole from Nile. He's just like.
Yeah, like that. I'm glad you made me like watch the lyric video.
You can't understand
I was like, there's no way you could even try and keep up like that. Like the first time you listen to that, like it's which is one of the things I love about some of these branches of metal music. It's
technical death metal. They call it tech death.
Technical death metal.
Yeah, they have shirts that say "Stay Tech."
I love that like it challenges you to keep up with it.
Their drummer, I watched an interview with, and he actually had to learn breathing techniques to be able to play that fast because his limbs would go numb. Because imagine running. You're running, right? Yeah. And you're running full speed for an hour. That's what he's doing, except he's including his hands also. Yeah. So he's got 4 limbs that he now has to control the circulation to. So he has to like focus on this like weird circular breathing where he gets into this meditative like thing. Yeah. And then he just like blasts for an hour and a half.
That's insane.
Yeah, he's a nuts guy. I love it. Like somebody who's dedicated so much. Like they all talked about it. They wanted to be the fastest, most technical, craziest, whatever. And so everybody is taking the steps in that band to get there. And so their next 2-3 albums are gonna be fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like that shit's so impressive to me. It's like people like using their instruments to just like push the physical limits of the human body, basically, as like musical limits. You know.
Lotus Eater has a song with Freddie Sunshine, and this is less. I mean, it's heavy metal. Lotus Eater they're like a heavy hardcore band, and they do a song with Freddie Sunshine, who's not really a well-known rapper, and the song's called Freaks, and it's the perfect blend, I think, of a full band backing up a hip-hopper and the hip-hopper doing it well.
Okay.
I think a lot of times people can get like there's that Judgment Night soundtrack where it's like Ice Cube and Slayer. Yeah. I mean Ice-T and Slayer. Sorry, Ice Cube and Ice-T. Ice-T and Slayer. It's like Sir Mix-a-Lot and Mudhoney, Sonic Youth and Cypress Hill, and like some of those songs, those rappers have no idea what to do. They're rapping over a punk band. How do they do? They rap over Dre beats. How are they gonna rap over a fucking punk band? But this is a good example of when a band listens to hip-hop, is a fan of hip-hop, likes hip-hop, and knows how to craft something for a good rapper to like springboard off of.
Fair.
That's fucking rad. I think the more like hip hop is going to overtake the world. It already is overtaking every genre.
So, let me ask you about Death Grips.
Sure.
Where do they fall in terms of the hip hop versus other genres?
They get labeled industrial hip hop a lot, which I think is not correct.
Is industrial hip hop like what does that? Do you know what that specifically like? What does that?
So industrial started in the 80s, and I'm not gonna go into like Throbbing Gristle and all the shit that like was the precursor to all this, but like the main guy that really started it, and I can't remember his fucking name, but Godflesh. They have an album. They have an album called Street Sweeper, and or Street Cleaner, and it's like the definitive industrial, like scary, don't ever listen to this with people album. It's like a really dense, dark, hard to listen to record, which I love. Like, I'm a big Swans fan, and it's harder than a Swans record to absorb. It's pretty abrasive.
So why does Death Grips get labeled that? If you don't, what do you think they should be labeled if they're just?
I genuinely, so they get labeled industrial hip hop for their use of like sporadic, chaotic noises that are really abrasive a lot of the times, and they they have a song called "Come Up and Get Me," and I think 70 to 80% of the sounds are just 808s. Literally, I just boom, 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 and fucking maybe a click for a snare, but then everything else is just, you're being bombarded by fucking 808s, and it's making a crazy good beat, but like, it's a similar concept, except it's not just some guy who's like screaming about pain over the top of it. It's Stefan Burnett or MC Ride screaming about pain over it.
Do you think Death Grips, at least in like modern times, has like maybe taken that step, help take a step closer to the merging of like?
I think that they started a lot of it. I think that they were the crazy out of left field thing that nobody was expecting. There wasn't anything even close.
I love the energy that they bring.
The first introduction that I had to them was their song "Beware," which is like, I light my torch and burn it. I fly my something and seize it. I clench my fist and beat it. I am the beast I worship.
I think that was the first song you probably showed me.
That shit fucking hit hard. And then listening to them and how there was nothing even remotely close on any scale that sounded remotely like this. And then 2-3 albums go by and they get to Jenny Death, their fourth record, and like there's a lot of people that have already leached from them. Like Bjork was already like huge on Death Grips. David Bowie cited Death Grips as a main inspiration for Black Star before he died.
Really?
Yeah. They were fucking with high-end profile people long before the masses were fucking with them.
That's fucking amazing.
And that speaks to Zach Hill and his ability to, like, he's been in the music industry for long enough. He knows what's up. And they navigate things very smart. I think they don't get attached to people. They don't let people get attached to them. And they make sure that everything is constantly in this shroud of mystery. Like, they've done 2 interviews. One of them was with Pitchfork. The other one was with Adult Swim. That's it. Like, nobody even knows, like, we know their names now, but, like, there's maybe one actual set of, or like roll of footage where their synth player Flatlander, Andy Morin, is actually talking. Every other interview he doesn't say shit.
That's interesting.
Never said a word on camera in an interview. So people steal from them. People have always stolen from them since their beginning, because they were so hot. I mean, JPEG Mafia came right off of that. Clipping came right after that. All these people that started, they started doing something that no one else in the industry did, which was turning up their mixes. So like they would clip it on the CD. So if for audio engineers, I'm gonna get all this wrong, but like you set your sounds or your volume to not clip when you burn to a CD, right? You're mixing it, you've got everything where you want it. So when you put it on that CD, it's all gonna register within a good sound frequency, and it's not gonna distort anything. They turn that shit all the way up. So when you put it in your CD player, it's already overdriven. So it's like when you plug your iPod into a tape player and you turn your iPod all the way up and it gets distorted and sounds gross. That's what they do.
That's fucking,
They were the first, and now people do it. That crazy loud 808 sound that like DaBaby has or whatever. That doom 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 doom. They were doing that forever ago.
Death Grips just kicked the door open for people, and now. But what I love is that like you were kind of alluding to, they're so self-contained that what they do is about the fucking project. It's about the music. They don't fuck with people. They don't let people fuck with them, and thusly they become kind of like this like. I mean, just this untouchable enigma because
they're completely untouchable. Yeah. Nobody can touch them.
Well, and if you try, like, it's interesting that people try to like sometimes hide the fact that they may or may not be like heavily influenced by Death Grips, but it's like
because it's not such a popular, common thing these days.
Yeah,
some stupid shit.
But it's like I don't know, man. Like they're pioneering. Like they're currently pioneers in the music world.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay, so
to get back to, I think I'm only 3 or 4 songs. Are we pretty deep?
We're pretty deep. So I wanted to like one more. We're scrapping the songs, unless you got some more.
Yeah, I got one.
What do you got?
The next one, a cattle decapitation. And this is like a year late, but Bring Back the Plague. They just released an album called Death Atlas.
Bring Back the Plague.
Yeah. So they recorded this song last year about this time for the new album Death Atlas, which came out this last April. And it's called Bring Back the Plague, and it's Travis Ryan, their vocalist, is a god. He's the best, and I'll go on record saying this, and I'll fight anybody. I don't care. He's the best vocalist in our modern day current like pantheon of peers. He is the front runner for how much talent you should have as a vocalist. He's fucking astronomical. And this speaks to his propheticness. He fucking wrote this song, Bring Back the Plague, which is just like a plague comes back and wipes out humanity, and it like describes it in great detail to the point where it's a fantastic it's a very good song on a very good album. And then March Corona hits.
Oh yeah.
And this song they released on Christmas.
Oh shit.
And so internet got wind of it and was just like, this guy's a fucking prophet.
He knew.
And then they released a music video where they were all self-quarantined in their house because of self-quarantine, and it's pretty fucking good because all the content matches exactly what the song is saying.
That's fucking rad.
Alright, we're done with songs. Check out Cattle Decapitation. They're fucking amazing. They're vegan. Anyway.
They're vegan.
They're all vegan.
Cattle Decapitation. Interesting name, though.
Well, they're an anti-meat and anti-humanity band, so Cattle Decap is pretty fucking brutal, man.
That makes fucking sense.
They're good boys.
They're good boys.
Very good boys.
Oh, man. Alright, I just wanted to get a chance at, like, are you working on anything currently yourself, man? Because, like, you've always been one of the most knowledgeable people on music, and one of the most, musically inclined individuals I've ever...
I'm just working on my stuff. I mean, and I'm not really... I like the idea of having really cute sound, like really beautifully cute sounds that are a song I'm working on right now sounds like a music box, kind of like malfunctioning with like a trap beat behind it.
You like cute sounds that are fucked up in some way.
Yeah, I do.
To put it very bluntly, I suppose.
And I hadn't created anything in a long time. It was really hard for me to find a sound, and I didn't know what I was going for or what I wanted to do, and I still don't really have an idea. But I at least have something to go off of, because this last song that I made, "Leave Me," which wasn't the last song, it was the first song I made in a while. Helped me. I had a song previous to that I spent a little bit of time on. It only came out to like 1 minute and 15 seconds, but it helped me springboard into the sound of this last song. Because once you have something to go off of or a concept, it's much easier to branch from it as opposed to like finding and creating a starting point.
Yeah.
So I had to create that starting point out of frustration, which I got, and then a year later, out of more frustration, it was just like I have to do some shit. So I started to do some shit and got that starting point, and now I'm kind of stuck on a song where it's super duper cute and I have the voice that I do.
I love that you describe it like that.
Super duper cute.
And you have the voice, and you have the voice that you do.
And I scream. Yeah. I scream. I'm not a great singer, but I would prefer to just scream my fucking head off all the time. So it's nice to have an outlet for it.
Yeah.
And I like the juxtaposition of like super cute, happy beat, and then just some dickhead who's just like stoked.
Well, yeah, it's like I love that, like the idea of like that cutesy sort of thing happening, and then just something shredding through it.
Yeah, especially from a male perspective. So. I think I'm not a toxic like, I'm not even a very masculine person to begin with at all, but I think that it showcases my feminine and my masculine, because I've got the music that I like to hear, and I got the way I like to sing, which are both very different.
Well, I like that bleeds into the music in that way.
That's not on purpose, but it's also the most personal music I've ever made.
And it might be just natural.
Well, yeah, I've always collaborated with people, and when you do that, you kind of compromise yourself, or you have that other person in mind while you're creating.
Yeah.
And now I don't have anybody in mind. I'm just thinking what I like, what I want to hear.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I've got a rap project with a boy that I'm doing right now, but I mean, that's gonna take some time.
See where it goes.
Oh yeah.
Fair enough.
LOL, loss of life.
Loss of life. LOL. Are you gonna try and go mostly by LOL? Or?
I think so. I think LOL is a good name.
It's good.
I think he does too. I think it's, again, cute.
Yeah. Well, and it disarms you right away.
Immediately.
Yeah.
A friend.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly. It's like
we had a band called A Friend, for those of you who don't know. And the thought process behind it was, hey, we're gonna go to a show, and then somebody would be like, oh cool, who are you gonna go see? And then they would be like, a friend.
A friend.
That's it. Our band was a pun. It's just a bad dad joke.
It's a bad story of my life.
Fucking A. One day you'll be a dad joke.
Shit, man. I'm just grateful. I gotta be honest. Like I said at the beginning of this, we haven't sat down for a while.
It's been great.
I'm just grateful that you had the chance to sit down and come over, man.
Oh, I'm very thankful for the opportunity. Had a delicious dinner. Was able to hang out. Yeah. And this has been very nice. And I'm definitely a big fan of the show. And can't wait to hear more episodes.
I don't know if I have no idea if anybody even listening is aware of this, but obviously you are like an OG at Heart anyway. So
yeah, but it doesn't
you're like the satellite. You're the satellite.
I want to be the Larry David to your Jerry Seinfeld.
There you go.
Just let me curb your enthusiasm.
Hey, come here. Let me curb your enthusiasm.
I mean, I think you're pretty enthusiastic. Let me fuck with that.
Well, man, I always hope that you keep churning out music and you keep working on that shit, because it's I don't know. It's all, at least for from my small perspective, it's always inspiring. So
thanks. I feel the exact same way about this.
Awesome.
I'm really bad at the daily producing game.
So am I think.
You're better than me, that's for fucking sure.
Yeah.
I could not. I take a year to fucking finish a song.
It took me a really long time to let go of my perfectionist needs for these things, because I believe more in getting something out there than I do with the finalized, like the perfect picture.
I think the raw or something is the more, and this is perfect, the more of you you're exposing.
Yeah.
And I think that exposing the more of you is a good thing.
I agree.
I think people like that.